Let's bring in Larry Sabato, director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia. Larry, welcome. If Liz Cheney does decide to run for president, would it even be through the GOP?
That's the key question in my mind. Is she going to run as an independent or run as a Republican? If she runs as a Republican, she can look forward to primary results that are kind of similar to what she saw in Wyoming. That is, she'll get a quarter to a third of the vote. She may get an opportunity to debate Trump, though I doubt he ever agrees to debate her. Running as an independent, she would have the ability to at least focus the public's concerns on Trump and make Trump face his record. She would attract Democrats and independents, but she has to worry that she could split the anti-Trump vote if Trump is indeed the Republican nominee and end up giving Trump a second term via the Electoral College. So there are a lot of considerations here. And notice she didn't say she was running for president. She said she wanted to make certain that Donald Trump was never in the White House again. That gives her a lot of maneuverability and a lot of options.
But does her resounding defeat suggest that a larger portion of GOP voters feel betrayed by the January 6th hearings and her role in them?
Well, it suggests that for Wyoming. We need to remember Wyoming is as conservative as America gets. It voted for Trump by 70% of the vote twice. That was his number one state, Trump's number one state. So that is not America. It's a great state, but it is not America. So you don't want to judge everything from our least populated state, which is Wyoming.
Well, not to turn it to another low populated state of Alaska, but how would you compare or contrast the results from what appears to be better outcomes for Sarah Palin, but also Senator Murkowski up there? What did you glean from that versus what you might take away from Liz Cheney's defeat in Wyoming?
Well, the House race is still very much up in the air. Let's focus on the Senate race. Senator Murkowski is in a good position not only to go to the ballot, she's already there for November, she's in an excellent position to win. Why? Because of their election system. They have this ranked choice voting where people can rank the four candidates that they support from top to bottom, and the additional votes are reallocated until somebody gets a majority. That encourages the election of relative moderates, moderate conservatives, moderate liberals, and that's why she's doing very well. If Wyoming had had a similar situation, a similar ranked choice voting, I don't think Cheney would have won by any means, but she would have done better.
Isn't ranked choice how California sort of effectively became a one-party state, though, or am I confusing things? My understanding was it also can split the ballast that you need to kind of coalesce behind each party.
Yeah, that's a very different system. It's top two. Essentially, you can end up in the general election with two Democrats running against one another, or two Republicans. That's very different than what Alaska has done, and it exists in other places. Maine, there are a couple dozen cities that have ranked choice voting. So they're different systems. I think ranked choice offers moderates a much better opportunity to win than any of the other systems.
All right, so spin all of this forward now. The midterms are looming, and then 2024. What's changed in your mind now versus 24 hours ago in terms of those outcomes?
You know, for a while, a lot of people, and I was one of them, thought that Trump was losing steam within the Republican Party. And a lot of those other Republican candidates who were planning on running against him for president in 2024 thought so too. Now it looks very different. Trump has really played the board in terms of winning primaries for his endorsed candidates. And last night was the topper for the entire primary season. Trump will be extremely difficult to stop, not impossible, but very difficult to stop. And that's going to reorient Democrats as well as Republicans. A lot of people who maybe had thought they would run for president in 2024 on the Republican side probably won't now.
Great point, Larry. Thanks for joining us tonight.